Hi everybody, this is Dylan Lubau, reporter for the World Socialist website. We've been helping education workers in Ontario in their struggle against the Ford government and in their struggle against a union leadership that is pushing a sellout tentative agreement on them. Now, this tentative agreement, which OSBCU CUPE leadership is endorsing at every level, is a rotten contract. It includes pay raises well below inflation. I think the $1 per hour flat rate increase represents something like 3.59% on average, even as inflation hits 7%. And all of you have been working now for almost 2 decades without a single pay increase when factoring in inflation and the skyrocketing cost of living. OSBCU leadership, including Laura Walton and the negotiating team, have said that this is the best that they could get. Well, if this is the best that they could get, then what was the point of all their rhetoric and all the hoopla they tried to drum up around their campaign for the past 3 or 4 months? It was always understood that Ford and Lecce would never move unless they were forced to. So why all of a sudden has the union leadership started to act as if the $1 an hour pay increase is good enough, and that the main issue is staffing levels and job security? Undoubtedly, those are important. But if your members are still earning poverty level wages, then you haven't done your job. And they treat their members as if they're stupid. They've kept their members in the dark about negotiations for months. They've gaslit them, telling them that, oh, the major issue is settled. The major issue has not been settled. This wage increase would do nothing to address 20 years of pay cuts. Now, how would a real union leadership act? Well, first of all, they would not have shut down the strike movement that erupted on November 4th and November 7th, which they were forced to call, because if they didn't, the rank and file membership would have rebelled. They would have kept this strike going, and this strike would have brought out hundreds of thousands of members of the teachers' unions and potentially millions of other workers in Ontario who are facing the same exact working and living conditions, falling further and further behind. They didn't do that. The leadership didn't do that. They shut it down without even consulting you. But this strike could have worked. It could have won an 11% per year pay increase and more. After just 2 days, this strike brought the Ford government to its knees. Ford was about to run away to his cottage. And that weekend, union leaders, including CUPE leaders, called Ford and begged him to rescind Bill 28 because they wouldn't be able to control the general strike movement that was developing. And because of this, there's been a feeling of demoralization, disorientation among the rank and file OSBCU membership and among the members of the teachers' unions. And this has to be fought. We know that there's a lot of opposition to this tentative agreement. A lot of you want to or probably have already voted no. And that's well and good, you should. But this opposition has to be organized across the province. A coordinated campaign has to be built to make sure that the union leadership doesn't come back with another rotten contract and cause further demoralization. And that would really put the nail in the coffin of this thing and lead to 3 more years of heartbreak. So what we're asking all of those who are voting no to do is to join a discussion group that we have set up on Facebook for all of those who do not want to settle for these table scraps and who want to fight to win, because it's still possible. But it's not possible if you keep trusting the union leadership that is preparing to sell you out, that has proven that their strategy only ends in failure. So you need to get in touch with us. Join this discussion group. Talk to your colleagues across the province about how you can coordinate and build a campaign for a no vote, and after the no vote, to really ensure that the leadership brings you out on strike with full strike pay and unites with the 200,000 members of the teachers' unions who also want to fight. Okay, so join our discussion group, get in touch with us, and let's start talking.